Welcome back to the Twisted Worlds. We're continuing on with Talus's journey, and I have I am not in the right mind space. I've delayed this to the pretty much the last second. Yeah, too busy playing Power World. Yeah, can you blame me? Anyway, the roll of the dice is chaotic, but none more so than the algorithm. So be sure to like, subscribe, share the video, leave a comment. What's your favorite D&D class? There's some potential engagement there. If anyone watches this, yeah, the analytics have been really bad the last while. Anyways, let's get to it. Talus sees the horrific sight of many homes with wrapped bodies outside. Oh, right, that's where we left off. Everyone a victim of the killer. What first thought to be a case of 3 victims has turned into one of nearly 100. All dead. For how long? Talus does not know. All she can do now is figure out who is the killer. Oh my god, it's night and I'm still yawning. Jeez. Okay. How are we doing this? My mind has been off and on with this for the last while. Okay, Talus moves to investigate the bodies. Father Ignatius and the 3 sisters all offering a prayer for the deceased. As such, there is only one thing that could be done in this situation. As the guardsmen investigate the homes, every home is a bloodbath. But not much of a clue left. Upon investigating, Talus discovers something interesting. Even though the bodies were brutally murdered, there is no sign of struggle. Talus ponders this. She calls for anyone who can detect magic to use the abilities on magic, to use the magical abilities on the bodies, or see if there's a trace of it in the house. Sure enough, not a single trace of magic. Most people would find this confusing. Talus, on the other hand, comes to a very logical conclusion. If there's no signs of a struggle, it means the inhabitants trusted the individual and didn't realize they were going to be killed. Talos has achieved a new clue. The clue being that not only is the killer most likely a human, or at least half human, but they're also someone who's trusted in the community. There are many who come to mind. In Talos' head. She looks around. She sees Father Ignatius and the Three Sisters of the Cloth. Someone of the church would be trusted enough, but not one. But there's no signs that they are good with weapons or with the ability to kill. There's also the chance it's one of her guardsmen. They are trusted. They are able to use weapons. But can they get away with a clean murder of an entire street? That is a pondering question. Talos also thinks to the inhabitants of the city. No matter who she thinks of, though, they have a very good chance of not being the killer as they are being one. Talos feels like she's missing some clues. But she's drawing a clearer picture. Whoever the killer is trusted by the citizenry. They are also quick and nimble, likely a human race, and uses a very sharp yet fine blade that's small. As Talos is thinking of this, one of her guardsmen appears. Other than every house being considered a brutal murder site, they all share another similarity. Each and every one of them has crescent-shaped cuts along the face, and blood-painted crescents all over every house. The same as all the other sites. What Talos needs now is to find, is to at least find a stronger piece of evidence to find out. Thalia comes up to Talos. Ma'am, we've looked all we can in the houses. There's nothing stolen, nothing out of the ordinary other than the murders. This was just murder for murder's sake. Talos then thinks to herself. She ponders whether or not there could be something else to all this. She thinks back to the scenes. The crescents are important. But the real question is, what relevance do they have? They're at every scene for some reason. Frustration, Talos scratches her head. A thought occurs to her. What if these aren't the first murders? And this isn't the only city that's been struck by them. Talos issues an order to Thalia. Get a message out. Ma'am? See if any other city in the province, any town whatsoever, whatever, has had a similar killing, a similar murder, a similar massacre, anything like that. There's a chance we're not the first. Exactly. On it. Talos looks around. Keep up your hope, everyone. We'll find the killer. I swear it. A nagging pain in the back of Talos' mind. She hasn't encountered bloodthirst this strong since Roar-Khan. Talos continues to ponder things. See if she can figure out who the killer is. Upon thinking during the day, guards are on edge. The streets are practically empty, save a few citizens needing to get supplies. The guards are all out in force. Thalia comes rushing into the room. Commander. Captain. What is it? You're on something. According to reports in the rest of the province, many a city, small towns, little villages have had similar crime scenes. And the crescents showed up all over again. What is the significance with the crescents, I wonder? Is there any moon god who worships blood, who's part of blood worship or something? No, nothing like that, ma'am. We looked into blood cults. Not one of them have anything to do with crescents. And, funnily enough, the same with the reverse. No moon-themed religion or anything like that has anything to do with blood. Well, that rules that out. So, but it looks like we're dealing with the same killer. When was the earliest of these? Ma'am? Like, which one of these has the shortest time away from us? It says here 3 months. So that's shortly before you arrived, ma'am. Just can't get away from death, can I? Ma'am? It's nothing. Just bad history is all. Well, either way, ma'am. I'm gonna go off on patrol. Are you sure you can handle it? Don't worry, ma'am. I trained hard for this. Thalia, ma'am, I think it'd be best if you stayed with me. Ma'am? We don't know what's going on out there. And if we would lose you randomly out there, I don't know what will happen. Work smarter, not harder. Especially in cases like this. Thalia bows her head reluctantly. Of course, ma'am. Sometimes, ma'am, if I can speak freely, of course, you kind of detach a bit. Like, life doesn't mean much to you. You just go along with it. I guess that's my old life still showing through. Uh, don't get me wrong. Since coming here, you've opened up quite a bit to us in the city. I didn't mean to pry. It's just no. I guess I have loosened up a bit since I came here. Your old life must have been tough. Yeah. I can't go into all the details, but let's just say I had a rough childhood, and that affected me greatly. Go any further, and, well, I doubt things would stay the same between me and everyone. Then I won't pry any further, ma'am. Frankly, if you said that your childhood was that rough, I suppose that would explain why you shut yourself away from people sometimes. Okay, so back on topic. These crescents, nothing to do with the moon, no blood cult, yet they showed up everywhere in these murders. What is the connection? I don't know. Just as they're thinking, a guard rushes in. Ma'am, what is it? We were looking through the archives forever for these murders, just in case we found something. Or Thalia missed something. No offense, Thalia, but, it doesn't hurt to have an extra pair of eyes on things. I guess? Thalia smiles with a bit of anger behind her eyes. And I think we found something specific. What is it? In some of the murders, the crescent shapes appear on both sides of a victim's mouth and up their cheek. What does that have to do with anything? Thalia says, well, why go, if you're butchering people, why just scar up their face like that? As Talis thinks, she realizes. Crescent's face. I. Wait a minute. We have a. Didn't we have like parchments with people's faces on them? Yeah, ma'am. Get me one now. Thalia rushes to a stack in the corner, grabs out the parchment. Here, what are you doing? What do you need us for, ma'am? Talis takes out a quill and draws curved lines along the mouths on the picture in front of her. It's not a smile. It's a smile. Smile? It's not a crescent, it's a smile. They look at the picture. The married couple had a scar, had a mark on one side of their faces. Yeah? If, say, they were kissing, their mouths would be joined, and the cuts would line up. This isn't about moons or crescents or anything. This killer gets a sick joy of it. Brings a smile to their face and forces a smile on others. A smiling killer. Wait a minute. I think I heard about something like that before. Like, what do you mean? For many years, all over the world, there have been murders from a smiling killer. They always leave a smile. So, this person kills people. Takes delight in it. Just have to find someone who smiles all the time. Honestly, there are a few people who try to smile in these hard times. Doesn't make it easy. Not unless we catch them killing someone with a smile on their face. True. We just need to figure out now. Who the killer is and how they're killing and getting away. So it's a human who's a sadist. Sixth sense of pleasure in murdering people. They use a sharp blade. How do we stop someone? This is getting out of hand. What's more is when you think about it, someone who's trusted comes to you with a smile and suddenly kills you. It's pretty messed up, actually. Now, we just need to figure out who it is, where they are, what the murder weapon is. We can't do anything on our own. Double the patrols just to be safe. I know not everyone's gonna like that, but I agree, ma'am. We need as much people out as we can. Now, all we need to do is figure out. Honestly, I'm not sure what else we can do at this point. Yeah, it's rough. We'll try investigating more on these killings. If we can narrow it down, at least a bit, then we should be able to stop everything. Talos is deep in thought. The killer is willing to kill hundreds, yet they're methodical. No one has a. Anyone who's close to being a witness is already dead. A smiling killer puts a smile on everyone's faces. Twisted logic. Talos closes her eyes. Thinking in her sleep, thinking to herself as she drifts to her sleep. As she sleeps, her thoughts wander, trying to understand everything. As she puts all the events together, a thought crosses her mind. She snaps awake. The graveyard. She walks out, calls for some guards, and Thalia. Ma'am, what is it? We're checking out the graveyard. They all. Upon entering the graveyard, still and quiet. Searching all the mausoleums, searching the tomb doors, searching the graves, not one thing out of place. What are we doing here, man? last time, you know, when I was chasing after the killer. They jumped into the river when we were checking. It was the morning after. It was a wet spot in front of the graveyard. That seems like a coincidence, right? Unless the killer jumped out the river and ran through the graveyard. Talos looks around. The tombstones don't show any sign of disturbance. Until Talos notices something odd. A little mark near one of the doors, near one of the mausoleum doors. What is that? Valia and the guardsmen look. They just see an indescribable scribble. This doesn't seem very important, does it, ma'am? Talos reaches the side to the brick beside it. Gives it a pull, a turn, and a push. As she does, concealed door in the ground beside the mausoleum opens up. A hidden pathway is revealed. Everyone gasps. This is Ifri. Stay on guard. Valia with me. Everyone else, get back up just in case. Ma'am. Talos and Valia walk in the passageway, lighting a torch. The musty underground smell assaults their noses. What is this? In most cities, there are marks for a certain guild to know that a certain guild is known to make good use of. Those in the guild are able to recognize the marks, and it lets them go and lets them find out the truth. It lets them know that there's a safe haven afoot. I made a habit not to go to the graveyard, so I wouldn't have noticed it until I came here. So I wouldn't have noticed it if I wasn't looking for something. Wow, ma'am. This must be a troublesome guild. It was, until it was destroyed. One of its sponsors perished, and as a result, the guild itself came undone. Without any funds or political help, it couldn't sustain itself. Didn't help that the leadership all died as well. Wow. What kind of guild was it? An assassin's guild. Contract killers. You think the murderer is a contract assassin? No. The Assassin's Guild has no one who would leave trace like that. This is someone who kills for pleasure, and happens to know the guild's secrets at the very least. But I don't think they're an actual member or anything. It's a strict regiment before being allowed even into the guild, let alone learning the marks. So they must have gotten the knowledge from somewhere else. Thalia listening to this excitedly while looking around. Wow. Then she stops in her tracks. Tella stops, looks back. A look of concern on Thalia's face. Tella has an idea why. Ma'am? How do you know all about this? The kingdom told you that I was a hero who saved them from a giant demon, correct? Yeah, of course. You're the hero of the nation. That's why they decided to put you in charge. What they didn't tell you is what I was before that. Ma'am? I was a member of the Assassin's Guild before coming here. I was there when it was destroyed. I was there when the sponsor died. Thalia shakes in concern and fear. Her hand steadily goes to her blade. When you said I was more detached, I was more detached before. It's because I was still in the assassin's mindset. I have loosened up since I came here. I still have the skills and the knowledge, but I'm not an assassin per se anymore. This is my second chance at life. Although, to think, coming here, my first big task in proving myself is to find another killer. The irony isn't lost in me. I can understand if you cannot trust me, or cannot forgive me. And you're likely on guard around me as it is. Of your hand on your blade, after all. Thalia's eyes widened. Talus knew what she was doing, without even looking directly at her. It started years ago. You heard of the desert kingdom Shasera. Me and my mother were taken in slaves then. Its ruler violated my mother to the point where she was close to death. I've had let's say, a problem with authority since then. Assassins tend to have monikers for their skill sets, what they specialize in. Mine was Tyrant Slayer. Sometimes I just want to leave it all behind, but things like this always come up. I can never truly escape death. And life loses its color more and more each time. But coming here and being the captain of the guard put a little bit more color back into it. Part of it's thanks to you, Thalia. Thalia takes a huge, deep breath and exhales loudly, stretching her arms each time. I understand why you didn't want to talk about your past now, ma'am. That is a lot. Although, I guess in a sense, it's a good thing that you had that past. Makes you uniquely equipped to deal with what's going on here. Yeah. That's what I choose to believe anyway. Anyway, we should get going. And unsheath your blade. Ma'am? Now that you know my past, it shouldn't surprise you that I know the smell of a corpse. And specifically how long it's been around. Ma'am? The smell of death is up ahead. And this isn't an ancient, musty death either. It's a lot more recent. Thalia realizes what she's saying. She draws her blade. Talos holds up the torch. The two round the corner and into a large chamber. A safe room. A guild safe room. As Talos looks in, she sees it. In the room, in the middle of which is a dead body. It's been around for a while, surrounded by open doors. Surrounded by 8 doorways that lead out into the city. Hidden room. A hidden room. With safety escape passages. Textbook. Where do all the doors go, ma'am? What's with the body? Well, first off, the doors. Each one goes to a different part of the city. One can enter anywhere. Can go from one end of the city to the other through these doors. As for the body, I'm not entirely sure. I can tell you one thing. This is a mangled woman's body. Almost all the identifying features of completely skinned off. Trying to hold back her lunch, Thalia asks, "Why?" I'll tell you why. It's because whoever this poor girl is, the killer took their place. We're looking for a woman. A woman who's been here at least a few months. Give or take half a year. That's how long this body's been here. The amount of decay matches. Ma'am. We know how the killer's going around the city. And we know their gender. There's just one thing left. There's just two things left. And we can figure this all out. Which is the murder weapon and the identity of this dead woman. Then we can take down the killer. Talos looks with determination at Thalia. In Thalia's eyes, you would think that she wasn't looking at it. You'd think that not. That she. It would surprise you to see that she was about to draw a weapon on this woman, for her eyes now are filled with admiration. Whatever Talos' past was matters not to her. Right now, she is a captain that Thalia would follow to the end of the world. And that's where we'll leave it this time. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you next time on the Twisted Worlds.